In this video, I want to take you through the answers and grading to the CEE300 midterm exam. So I'm going to go through page by page, and I'll do a separate video for each problem. This is the cover sheet, the first problem, and it tests teamwork. It asks you for your Factfinder, follow-through, quick start, and implementer dimensions of your Colby A index. So I've filled mine out here. I want you to know what your numbers are, even if you're in transition. So this tests you on the knowledge of your numbers. For each one of these, they're worth 5% of the overall problem. So that's 4 at 5% each. This first section is worth 20% of the work on this page. Now you need to know, what are the action modes? Factfinder, follow-through, quick start, and implementer are each called action modes. And they're a little bit different from the three aspects of the mind. The three aspects of the mind are the affective, which you feel or value, the cognitive, which you think and learn, and the conative, your instincts for action. But the Factfinder, follow-through, quick start, and implementer are action modes. Factfinder is your relationship to information. Follow-through is your relationship to organization, patterning. Quick start is your relationship to risk and uncertainty. And implementer is your relationship to the tangible, sensory experience. Think of it as an implement, like a tool that you would work with or manipulate. There are 4 answers here. Again, each of them 5% each. So this second section is worth 20% of the available credit on the overall page. The last part of our teamwork question asks about communications protocol. It says to explain the term, and an explanation is a little bit different than a definition, but a definition is good. A communications protocol in CEE300 is an agreement between the people on a team on their choice of medium. So what do I mean by medium? Could also be channel. And there are lots of examples of different channels of communication that we choose in CE300. For example, Twitter or email or phone call or in real life. In particular, we have an explicit communications protocol in CE300 that gives us guidance on which medium or channel to select based upon the urgency and privacy of the communication. If it's extremely urgent and extremely private, that's a meeting that we have in real life. If it's extremely urgent but not private at all, we'd even call it public, then an emergency like that might be 911. We fill in the rest of the communications protocol according to the agreement that we have on our team. And in our class, we've agreed to use Twitter, which is extremely public and not very urgent at all. But we're using Twitter direct messaging for matters that are more private and more urgent. We can also use email, although never with attachments. And email is somewhere in between the very public and the very private, and it's not so urgent that it requires an immediate response. It might be, say, a 2 to 3 day response. So in CE300, we'd use Twitter for the types of communication that we might never need a response to and then we want to share with everyone. Email for the communications that we want to restrict to our team, even though we recognize that email is not a private medium. Direct messaging, when we want to reach a single person or a small group of people. In real life, when we have matters that are private, and of course, where we need an immediate response, and of course, 911 for emergencies, which are public and need immediate attention. So you don't have to draw the entire diagram to get full credit for the communications protocol, but you do need to know that the communications protocol, the purpose of the protocol is to choose a medium or a channel. You need to know that in CE300, privacy and urgency are essential dimensions or characteristics of the communications channels that we choose, and you need to know that we use Twitter, email, in real life, and Twitter direct messaging, both in groups and to individuals. You need to have these examples of the types of channels that we would use. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that we're looking for in an answer of this type, but they don't all count equally. The credit available on this question is 60% of the overall problem, and the privacy, the medium, and the urgency are the most important parts of the problem. So we count each one of those 10% each, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 different examples of the medium that we use. If you have 3 of these 4 examples, then you can obtain an additional 30% credit. The overall credit for this page is earned 20 plus 20 is 40, 50, 60, 70, 100%. I'll explain how you know how many points this page is worth in a separate video at the end.